Welcome to Module 1, Lesson 16. Today we are going to be working on word problems, and we're going to be using all the skills from all the previous lessons of the module to solve them. It is the last lesson of the module. And for my first problem, I have Mr. Fry distributed $126 among his 4 children equally. How much money did each child receive? And for all of these, we're going to be drawing a bar model or a tape diagram. They're the same thing. So I have a hole here. We're always talking about parts and holes with bar diagrams. And all of the money is $126. And we are dividing it amongst the children equally. And we want to know what each child gets. So you can see from the bar model, I've shown my hole. I've labeled that since I knew what it was. I've shown my equal parts, and I've shown what the question is asking, which is what one of those equal parts is. So that's our first step. Our second step is going to be to write an expression to solve the problem. And I can see now easily from my bar model that I'm going to be looking to take $126 and divide it into 4 equal pieces. So then I'm going to come over to the side and do my work. And it doesn't go into the hundreds place at all. It goes into 12 tens 3 times. And it goes into 6 ones 1 time. And I need a decimal point and a 0. And it goes into 25 times. And since this is money, I'm going to put the number of cents as 50 cents. And now I just need a nice sentence to solve my problem. And so I've got each child receives $31.50. Just to be sure that my teacher knows what my answer is, I'm going to circle that. So I have all the parts of a good word problem. I have my bar model, my model. I have my expression. I have my scratch work, and I have my solution written in a sentence. For my next problem, I have Ava's 23 centimeters taller than Olivia, and Olivia is half the height of Lucas. If Lucas is 1 7/8 meters tall, how tall are Ava and Olivia? And I want my answer in centimeters. Now, this would make a nice beginning algebra problem for high school, but with bar models we can indeed solve this. So as I look at what I have Ava is 23 centimeters taller than Olivia. So Olivia seems to be a basis of that I'm going to refer to. So for Olivia, I'm just going to give her a unit here. I'm going to put O for Olivia. And I know that Ava is going to be Olivia plus another 23 inches. There's Ava. And I know that this is 23, or not inches, centimeters, sorry. And then Lucas is, Olivia's half of Lucas. So if Olivia's half of Lucas, that means Lucas is 2 equal parts of Olivia. And it also says that Lucas is 1 7/8 meters tall. So now I have all the pieces I need. 2 equal units, 2 equal parts is 1 7/8, and one of those parts is Olivia. So if I take Lucas's height and divide it by 2, I'm going to get Olivia's. And then if I add 23 centimeters to that, I'm going to get Ava. So we've unlocked the problem here. I'm going to come over and I have, let's see, Olivia is going to be 1 7/8 divided by 2. And if I do that, it doesn't go into the one hole, it goes into 17 8 times. I have 1 left over, bring down my 8, I go into that 9 times. I have nothing left over. So I know that a 1 equal part is 89 hundredths. So Olivia now I figured out is 89 hundredths of a meter. And I also know that since there are 100 centimeters in a meter, that's going to be 89 centimeters. And Ava is going to be the 89 centimeters plus 23 centimeters. And if I add those up, I get 112 centimeters. So Ava is going to be 112 centimeters. So I wrote myself a nice sentence here, and I want to circle that, and that solves that problem. For my last problem, I have Brandon is mixing 6 83/100 pounds of cashews and 3 57/100 pounds of pistachios and mixes that all together. After filling up 6 bags with the same amount of nuts, there are 35/100 pounds left over. What's the weight of mixed nuts in each bag? And use a tape diagram to show your calculations. So I'm going to actually do 2 tape diagrams here, I think. I'm going to start out with the first part of the problem, which is I have 6 83/100 and I have 3 57/100. That gives me my total amount of nuts. So I have 6 83/100 plus 3 57/100. And if I add those up, I get 10 40/100. Now I'm going to come over to my next bar over here. What I have are 6 equal parts plus I have my 35/100 left over, and all of that together is 10 40/100. So I can see really easily from my bar model that I have 6 equal parts plus this other part making up the whole of 10 40/100. So if I take the 35/100 away from that, I'm left with the amount that is divided evenly into 6 parts. So my first expression is going to be 10 40/100 minus 35/100, and I can tell if I take 35 cents away from 40 cents, I have my $10 still. Actually, this is pounds, but I'm just thinking of it as money. And I have 500s left over. Now I need to take my 10 500 and divide it by 6. And I wrote my problem over here in red to make it stand out. And the 6 goes into 10 one time. And the 6 goes into 40 6 times. And the 6 goes into 45 7 times. I'm running out of space here. I'll need another 0. And 6 goes into 30 5 times. So I have my answer. Each bag is going to contain 1 675,000 pounds of nuts. I could check my answer very easily. I could just take 6 times the 1 675,000 and then add the 35/100, and I should get 10 40/100. That's all there is for today's lesson. Good luck on the test tomorrow.